Hello and welcome back to LifeGen. My name is Frosty and today I'm picking up where we left off last time. But first things first, there has been an update for LifeGen. So some new features are for when our main character dies, we can click to be reborn. And we have the option to create a new cat to be our main character. We also have some new updates with the Star Clan Dark Forest, so cats are actually going to go to whichever side they believe in more, and that happens automatically based on faith. So a cat could do nothing wrong but go to the dark forest if they have really high faith, and vice versa. So I guess people could do something very bad and still make it into Star Clan by that logic, but we'll make our own adjustments as needed there. Now, there's also been some Halloween patrols added, it looks like, but I'm now recording this after Halloween, so I'm not really sure if we're actually going to see any of that. So that kind of stinks, but what can we do there? Just is what it is with time-related events. So let's go ahead and jump into MoonClan. Cute artwork, by the way. Alright, so just to touch base here too, last episode, I definitely got chewed out for exiling Fierceface, and I just want to say that, like, the actual mechanisms of the challenge basically means that if he comes in and admits that he was the father of the kids, then he gets exiled. We can get around that a little bit. Like, if he had a really strong relationship with Yarosar, we could have saved him. I'll be honest, I didn't think about it at the time because there was a lot going on. There's a little bit of a relationship there, but nothing much. If there had been, then we could always, try and get Fierceface back. But I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing to exile Fierceface, just in the sense that this hasn't been a very frequent problem. So the way I'm seeing this is if a Tom were to have a family with a different queen outside of the clan, be it a loner, kitty pet, other clan, whatever, and then brings the kids back, to me that's kind of admission of guilt. Fierceface wasn't a sneaky cat at all. He's always been like fierce or grumpy, just something along those lines. So he didn't get advantage or anything for that either. I think I also mentioned this, but his kids are the exact same age as ours. So to me, it makes sense that Liar Rush would have been the cat caring for them. So, like, I think Frost would have also then taken on kind of a parental role by consequence there too. And if I remember correctly, he was always pretty close with Fierce as well. Yeah, very, very close. So I know I was teasing this at the end, or at least the latter parts of last episode, but I do think I'm going to have Liar and Frost adopt Swan Kit, Moral Kit, and Burn Kit here. I think that just makes sense. I just need to figure out how to do that. No, it's possible. Okay, so here we are. Set adoptive, set adoptive. So now all three kits are going to have Liar and Frost as their adopted parents. So they'll be well taken care of by the clan. And honestly, I'm pretty content with that too. I'm going to keep their names the same because I kind of view this as, Fierceface naming the kits and then leaving. So I'm not going to override his wishes or last thoughts or hopes or whatever for the kits in that respect for Frost. And I did get your guys' feedback on Cloud Kit and Echo Kit too. I think we're going to keep Echo Kit's name. A lot of people did seem to like Echo Kit. I saw a request for her warrior name to be Echo Spots, which I think is cute. But a lot of people were saying to change Cloud Kit's name. And I'm going back and forth on what to change that to, just because I would like to have Liar recognized in there somehow as well. Somebody mentioned that, and I mean, that's only fair. She's the other parent. And on that same note, somebody else also said to rename one of them to Willow in honor of Willow Deer, one of our old apprentices. And I'm not gonna lie, I really like the name of Willow for one of them. So I'm thinking I might rename Cloud to being something to do with Liar. And we might have to set one of their suffixes to Willow. So it could be like Echo Willow or, whatever we change Cloud to. But that's just my current thought process. I was going to do this at their apprentice ceremony, but I honestly don't really see a reason to wait. So we can do that now. I'm just going to go back through comments and see what everybody's awesome suggestions were. That way we can get the best name possible. Okay, so after a lot of deliberation, I went ahead and I actually renamed Cloud to Willow directly because Willow was Frost's first apprentice, which he had very young actually, if I recall correctly. And I also didn't realize that Willow was Liar's direct sister. So it would make sense, or at least I've forgotten. So it would make sense that Liar would want to honor Willow too. So I think it does make sense as a legacy name to make Cloud Willow. And we can use some of the other thoughts for like honoring everybody in their suffixes once they get made to be warriors or medicine cats or whatever the kits actually end up doing. I do think it would be cute if we could get an Echo Spots though, because that could be an honor of Swamp Spots, albeit indirectly, Frost Whisper's mother. So I'm pretty excited to see what's in store there. Without any further ado, we're gonna go ahead and jump into Moon 105 for the clan. And we're heading into winter time, speaking of. So let's go ahead and dive in and see what waits. Okay, so nothing under ceremonies. Under births and deaths, though, Twigroach brought a litter of 4 kids back to camp but refused to talk about their origin. Okay, we might have another similar situation there. We'll just have to check that out. Lyrush is healed from the strain of delivering their litter. Needledew's tail is healed well, but they've gotten white cough. Chirpback's soreness is gone. Primshade no longer has a stomach ache. Despite the enforced nest rest and how tightly their broken bone is bound, Coleslash's injury is beginning to look concerning to Hillpetal. They've already begun to plan what to do if the infection progresses any further. Really keeping my fingers crossed Coleslash gets that infection out sooner than later. We are resting and recovering, if I recall correctly, so we shouldn't have much issue there. Sackpaw's sprain is healed, but then they got a running nose. Swankit's cracked pads have healed, and Queso Storm's white cough is gone. Burrowfoot accidentally trespasses onto River Clan's territory. Okay, I mean, if it's an accident, accidents happen. We don't seem to be any worse for wear, so no one's gonna get a strike this go. Needledew has realized that She-Cat doesn't describe how they feel anymore. Alright. We have found a new accessory, the gold foil bow collar. We choose to store it in a safe place for now. That sounds really cute. Okay, before I dive into this drama here, I just want to double check in on how we're currently doing with everybody else. So we are still allies with everybody, and we still have a pretty neutral relationship with all the outsiders, so nothing crazy there. Warriors are focused on resting and recovering. I think that's the best choice scenario, really. And we still have plenty of prey, but we are not going to be accepting outsiders in winter time. Alright. So let's check in on Twigroach. Okay, so Twigroach would be bringing the kits back from somebody else for reasons that they're not stating. Let's check out their kits before we get into possible negatives there. So up first we have Fish Kit, who's snuggling up into the belly of Twigroach, a newborn male with gold eyes and a smoke light cream pelt. It's actually really pretty. He is charming, and his backstory is he is half clan. Fish Kit was born in another clan, but chose to come to this one to be with their other parent and Leaf Bear. Then we have Scratch Kit, a newborn female with copper eyes and a single color brown pelt. She's grumpy. Then we have Jumble Kit, a newborn male with gold eyes and a single stripe light cream orange pelt. Pretty unique there, but secretive. Then we have Slumber Kit, a newborn female with silver eyes and a single color pale pelt. She is disciplined. So, I mean, I guess I can kind of see these colors coming from Twig. But that does mean that Twigroach broke the warrior code. And if they bring somebody back, they do just get exile per the challenge. I don't think that Yarosar is going to particularly care for Twigroach either. Oh, Yarosar does not like us. So, unfortunately, that means that we are going to be losing Twigroach. I'm sure the clan would see this as being a bit of a slight too. Just in the sense of, like, Twigroach was formerly a kitty pet and quote-unquote struggled to adhere to clan policy. So I can see there being some biases there too. Okay, after last time, I did just want to, double check in and make sure that I had everything correct here. So if a cat has kittens with an outsider, including bringing in their own kits from another clan, they should be punished with exile or demotion. If leader has a positive trait or a close bond, at least one green bar, they may escape punishment. We can always have them punished anyway. Flip a coin for male or incapable of becoming pregnant cats. Heads, they're caught. Tails, they're not. Sneaky gets an extra flip. If tails, they can get away with claiming they found the kits or having someone adopt them. Female at birth. Within clans, pregnant cats are not interrogated or asked who the father is, as cats don't always have kits with a mate. Sometimes they just have kits by themselves. So if a female at birth cat becomes pregnant, they're pretty safe, whereas it's more obvious when a cat is incapable of becoming pregnant that has kids with an outsider. So, yeah. That was the reason that Fierce Face got just straight up exiled. Twigroach is refusing to discuss it. I can't remember now what Fierce Face was doing, but we'll just say that Fierce Face got caught since it's not great odds anyway. So I'm just gonna go ahead and flip a coin for Twigroach and see if he gets to say, since he's refusing to acknowledge it. So heads, he's safe. Tails, he's not. And just for sake of clarity here, tails, he is not. So, I'm very sorry, Twigroach. You've been exiled, but your kits will be safe. And I actually don't mind these names too much. Fish Kid, I think, is a little bit odd. Honestly, Jumble and Slumber are too. But I think it's fine. I don't think I've ever had a cat with a prefix of fish, so it'll at least be unique. This is a gold foil collar, by the way, which obviously we're not going to be implementing. But it is pretty cute, not gonna lie. Yarosar is currently wondering if kitty pet life is really so bad. Needledew is assigning cats to patrol the borders. He currently identifies as male. Blue Shade is worried others are judging them. Hill Petal is giving advice to Shaded Antler. And Storm Sky is wondering what living with two legs must be like. Just as bit of a note here too. I couldn't select the cats that we're going to interact with, so we might have to skip it for this moon, but there's been enough going on. I think that's fine. We're currently trying to set a good example for younger cats. Not too surprising there. We have now, 5 kits and then 4 abandoned kits that we are probably trying to be role models for. Also, I know that the kits are really young that just got brought back, and this is the same issue with Fierce Face. But they'll be fine. They have 2 queens that are dedicated to looking after them and raising them, and that alone is more support than just a single parent would have otherwise had. Raven's song is hissing in frustration. I wonder what about. Lyre Rush is eavesdropping on Shaded Antler. Good morning. I saw you were sleeping in, so I just left you to rest. After all, you were up so late on that patrol you barely got any sleep. Here, I got you a mouse. I hope you enjoy it. We're doing pretty good with Lyre, I think. What's your secret? You always know what I need to hear before I do. Just either we know you or we get real lucky then. Shaded Antler is wondering how Coal Slash is doing. Coal Slash has little patience for small talk though, and he is injured, again with an infected broken bone. So I think it's totally normal for Shaded to be worried. They're also close enough in age that I think they were apprentices together, at least for a little bit there. So I can see there being some, just natural interests or affections there. Not necessarily romantic, but certainly could be platonic. Moonfern is keeping a calm demeanor amidst nursery chaos. During Moonfern's lecture on clan history, Willowkit is completely engrossed, asking insightful questions that Moonfern tries their best to answer. Charred Rumble is enjoying the silence outside of camp. We went from having no kits to suddenly having a ton of kits, so I can't really blame you for wanting to get a moment's rest. Charred Rumble lectures Marl Kid about times of hardship in clan history, but the kid appears completely indifferent. Well, we're trying. Willow Kid is wishing other cats would stop babying her. Echo Kid is playing pretend. Swan Kid is rushing Sky Scratch. Whirl Kid is batting pebbles across the camp clearing. Burn Kid is worrying about her family and friends. That's very sad. We'll talk to them in order, though. Want to know something weird I've noticed lately? Isn't it always so weird when your head does the thing when you get a bunch of positive feedback, but then there's the one thing and you always get hung up on the one thing? I don't want to name names, but I've also been noticing it with this other one cat too lately. They're normally so good against criticism. Heck, if even that cat feels that way sometimes, maybe we should come up with a name for it. Willowkit looks around, her eyes fixate on a decaying leaf that's fallen from a tree. Maybe we should ask that leaf. They look like they have good ideas. But yeah, no, there is some psychology that you will tend to latch on to negative things over positive ones. Just to break even, you need to have 10 positives for 1 negative sort of a thing. And there's all kinds of possible reasons why that could have developed. While Echo Kid sleeps, we like to make a game out of counting all the toes on her paws. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Has a more perfect, darling little kit ever existed? That's so cute. Haha, Swan Kit laughs over and over as Moonfern makes funny faces at her. We spot Moral Kid talking with the elders across camp, her little eyes shining with excitement. The sight of her fills you with so much love, your heart almost explodes. That's... Sorry, no, I'd just like to go out of that and be like, oh, this is the most perfect, darling little kid, and then just see bullying. Parents are always going to be blinded by love, though. Little Kid said that she was going to sneak into the warrior's den, but I was too scared. I don't want to get exiled. Oh, is that why Burn Kid is worrying about her family and friends? She thinks Willow Kid is going to get exiled for sneaking into the warrior den. This isn't reaffirming why I'm being so strict with everything. It's really not. Fish Kit says meow. Scratch Kit says meow. Jumble Kit says grr. And Slumber Kit says meow wow wow. She puffs out her little chest as she peeps in protest of staying still in the nest. It seems she wants to explore before she can even see. Not very slumber-like. I would think a Slumber Kit would want to try and stay put and rest. But let's go ahead and dive into patrol. We are on dawn patrol with Amber Stripe. Fog hangs over the whole territory, turning familiar landmarks into ghostly silhouettes and making it hard to see even several tail lengths in front of us. Suddenly, Amber Stripe gasps. With a jolt, we follow their gaze and see an indistinct cat-sized shadow with two glowing eyes watching us. The figure turns and runs. A haunting, jingling noise follows them. I'm always gonna follow the ghosts. We remember an old story that says dead cats sometimes appear when the fog is thickest. Not StarClan cats, but cats who have died and now roam elsewhere. You call out through the shadow asking if they're one of those cats. For a long moment, there's no response. Amber Stripe quivers beside you. Then the figure reappears and blinks at you with its still glowing eyes. We make out an indistinct cat silhouette before it seems to fade and become one with the fog, leaving a belled collar on the ground where it once stood. We got an accessory out of it. That's actually really cool interaction. As a fan of Spooky, I wouldn't mind if they kept some of the Halloween interactions around for the whole year. Scary things can happen whenever, you know? We're out fishing with LifeGen when we notice them staring into the dark water with a sad expression on their face. We carefully ask what's on their mind. They tell you about how they've been feeling worthless lately and the dark, cloudy weather hasn't been helping. They splash the water in frustration. We give them a soft smile and reassure them of their worth, splashing some water back at them. The moment of sadness turns into a fun water fight. I mean, LifeGen has really had it piled up against her this past couple moons. She had kits, which can come with all of its own host of issues postpartum, and then she adopted 3 more unexpectedly, and then heading into, the season where there's very little light and a lot of clouds. That's also when you get into seasonal stuff too. So Lyre being a little bit down in the dumps isn't necessarily surprising, but I'm glad that Frost is helping to pull her out of it. Blue Shade manages to gather some Daisy. Hill Petal only gets Shivering though. But Storm Sky also manages to gather Dandelion. Tiny Paw is sent out to try and practice tree climbing. Probably not the best activity in wintertime when it's all icy. But they manage to make their way up before a branch cracks and sends them back down to the ground. They hurt their paw in the process, but not too bad. They only got a little sore. Our first hunting mission brings back a medium amount of prey. Our next sees a big rat digging around in some Two Lake Place trash. Pigeon Flick easily catches it, Fawn Shock meowing triumphantly that it's a great catch during Leaf Bear. Unfortunately, while carrying it home, Pigeon Flick's mouth begins to sour. They bury the sickly rat away from camp, but it's too late. Over the next few days, Pigeon Flick falls violently ill with carrion place disease. Ooh, that's not something I've actually really encountered, so I don't know how bad that is or how easy it is to recover from. I'm a little concerned by the description violently ill, though. Our patrol approaches the two-leg nest in the woods while hunting. We split up using sentries to ensure the two legs don't disturb our hunts, and we get a medium amount of prey in the process. Our first border patrol comes across a small dog right on the edge of the border. We send it off, backing one another up, though. Our next border patrol follows the scent of a Clay Clan cat to a cat taking refuge up a tree. The cat yells a warning, and the patrol scatters when they hear the cry. A large dog jumps at the patrol, catching Sembrite, but thankfully only injuring them before we tear ourselves free and sprint away. Sembrite got a bite wound, better than some alternatives, but we have worsened our relationship with Clay Clan. Oh, interesting. Burrowfoot finds a loner who offers their healing skills in exchange for shelter. You know, I said we weren't going to accept anybody during Leaf Bear, but if you wanted to win my heart, I think a medicine cat would just do it. Because we really never have enough of those, I don't think. And Blue Shade is really getting up there, so if you wanted to retire, this would allow a pretty seamless transition over. And we still have plenty of food. But after hearing more about our clan, the loner decides not to join. We have met Turtle. Our relationship with outsiders has worsened. Oh, what? So here's Turtle, an adolescent male cat at 8 moons old. He's loving with a keen eye. He is only a trainee with 21 experience though, so that's not what I was expecting when a cat is offering healing skills. But that's still a little shame to lose because, again, training somebody up isn't a bad circumstance either. But with that, we're going to go ahead and jump into our next moon, Moon 106 for the clan. Alright, so for health, Needledew no longer has white cough. Fawn Chalk has gotten yellow cough. That's actually kind of scary because that could be a lot worse. Tiny Paw's soreness has abated. Lyrush was seen racing along the border with their rival from Goose Clan. Sky Scratch was seen outside of the clan's territory. Oh, some sort of pest got to the herb stores and completely destroyed them. We have to start over anew. And Leaf Bear again. Lyrush was seen racing along the border, and we worked hard to gather plenty of fresh kill, but woke up to find paw prints moving away and missing prey. So we still have plenty. We will at least make it through winter, even if we catch absolutely nothing. But the herbs is gonna be potentially a killer, like literally. We managed to gather 4 mallow for all of our unwell cats. Before I forget, Sky Scratch has no strikes, and I'm not really too concerned about her, so we'll put in 1 strike for now. If we decide it's not too bad later, we can always remove it. In the grand scheme of things, I genuinely don't think this is the worst ever, but I'm trying to be a little bit more strict than not. Again, just in the sake of interest there. And before we get into it too much here, let's check out our kits that are a little bit more grown up, thanks to Twigroach. So here's Fish Kit. He's actually gonna be stunning, I think. He's purring softly, and he grew to enjoy digging. Here's Scratch Kit, wants to take a nap. She's grumpy but looks for trinkets. Honestly, this is about the most muted brown all around I think I've seen in a while. Here's Shumble Kit hunting bugs. He's secretive and steps lightly, so he could really grow into that hunting trait there. Then we have Slumber Kit, who's proud of Echo Kit's growth. Disciplined and interested in relationship drama. Please become a mediator. I can't do the murder boat anymore. I really can't. But the Silver Eyes and the Pale Pelt is a really interesting combination. It's kind of like prophecy-esque, I think. Yarosar saw a K-Pet sitting calmly next to a dog. Needledew is assigning cats to the hunting patrol. Blue Shade is checking up on the warriors. Hill Petal is refusing to share gossip at the Half Moon meeting. Storm Sky has the foul taste of bitter herbs in their mouth. Probably not as many as we'd like to see at this time of year, though. Once again, we're just trying to set a good example. Lyrush is playing a prank on Prince Shade, though. Do you want to know something, love? Sometimes I question how I fell for a cat like you. Never thought I'd be so lucky. I've always wanted a mate, but I didn't think it was going to be you, nor could I ever imagine how wonderful it would be. You're perfect. I truly don't deserve you. We quickly press our nose into their cheek. Lyra shuts their mouth and begins to purr. You ruined me. Aww. I was gonna say, like, don't be so self-disparaging. We're the ones that can't form emotions, it feels like. We flirt with them. Ah, I love you so much. Just so sweet. Honestly, whenever something inevitably happens to one of us, like, the other is not going to be okay. Moonfern is currently marveling at how quickly kids grow and change every day. As Moonfern and Burnkit play moss ball, Moonfern notices how Burnkit takes a gentle approach when passing the ball back to them, making sure it doesn't fly at their face. Empathy 1. Chardrumble catches a pair of apprentices trying to sneak out. Well, we only have the two, so Tiny Paw and Sagpaw would have to be consequently the ones trying to sneak out. Chardrumble lectures Moralkit about the different roles in the clan, and Moralkit answers every question in the pop quiz correctly. Compassion up to 0 for some reason. Willowkit is trying to sneak out of camp. Willowkit is throwing a tantrum. We decide to try out a trick that Chardrumble taught us. Wah! Hey Willowkit, what color are your paws? Huh? Sniffle, Willowkit calms right down, studying her paws. Man, Chardrumble must be magic or something. And honestly, I can see her throwing a tantrum because she got caught trying to sneak out of camp. And that really goes in together with her traits being rebellious and constantly climbing. Echo Kid is asking every cat in earshot to play with them. Echo Kid walks over and flops down against your side. We cuddle her close, pondering if there's any way to keep her this little forever. I don't think anyone's cracked that code. Swan Kid is asking the older cats about how kittens are made. Sniffle, sniffle. Frost Whisper, Burn Kid just called me a bad name. We call your other kid over and sternly ask what happened. Burn Kid, of course, blames the whole thing on Swan Kid. Don't listen to her, she's lying. You sigh, wishing the two siblings could just get along. But to your amazement, they begin to play, laugh, and nap together by sundown. Amazing how siblings work like that. Kind of have to. Whirl Kid is busy mastering a battle move she's performing incorrectly. Hey, did your ears get bigger? Ha ha ha. Big ears, big ears. Are we sure it wasn't Moral Kit that was bothering Swan Kit? Burn Kit is rolling around on the ground. Oh, I'm really sorry. I think I forgot your name. Ouch. We're your adopted parent, child. While sniffing out near the border, we hear a kitty pet call out to us. They've got some sort of weird two-leg contraption on, and they ask for our help getting out of it. We agree to help, and we're able to wrestle the strange device over the kitty pet's head, allowing her to wriggle free. She tells you that if you don't take it with you back home, her household are just going to make her wear it again. Weird. It can't be that uncomfortable, right? We've met Klee, and we got an accessory. We can wear that. We can wear it. Where are we? Oh my gosh. We also got a rainbow collar, it looks like. Rainbow bell collar. Oh, I think that's from the ghosts. Which, honestly, that's quite a look. Listen, I know it's 2 legs. I know it's not practical. But maybe just for the episode after Halloween, we can accept a little bit of silliness here. I do think I'm going to forego a date with Lyra Rush for this go. Just so we can have a little bit more hands on deck for hunting, if nothing else. Blueshay gathers moss. Hillpetal does gather juniper. And Storm Sky gathers raspberry. We look ridiculous. with this bat costume on, but I don't care. On border patrol, we find a kitty pet scent. Following the extremely obvious sounds of distress, we lead the patrol down to kitty pet, haplessly wedged between a couple of rocks. Wailing pathetically, they cry their wing is stuck. Okay, I don't think this is gonna recruit them. Cats don't normally come with wings. Glances down to Frostwhisper wearing wings. Much less fat ones, and the patrol flinches back from the foreign stranger. Unnatural or not, the stranger is still stuck. With a deep breath, we order them forward to free a fellow cat-ish thing. I have no idea what you guys mean. It's totally normal. Alright, we hear a cat begging for their housefolk, so we're going to avoid that. It's not our business in wintertime, at least. Our first hunting mission only brings back a small amount of prey. Our next actually manages to get a fair amount of fish, a large amount of prey. Scorch Runner especially makes it look easy, which is a kind of surprising pastime in winter. Our last hunting patrol has little luck with hunting and instead has to huddle down to avoid the worst of a bad storm. Alright, and with that, we're going to dive into our last minute of the episode. Snowleaf sits in the crowd, chest puffed out in pride as they watch Tiny Paw be named Tiny Stripe and honored for his understanding. They consider themselves lucky to have been able to train such an amazing young cat and look forward to seeing the warrior he becomes. Prim Trade brought a litter of 4 kids back to camp but refused to talk about their origin. Okay, we're. 'Tis the season for that, I suppose. Unfortunately, Coleslash succumbed to their infection. Ravensong fusses gently with his fur, hiding the evidence of what made them pass. They want to remember them as they were in life and not like this. Ravensong only retires to their nest when concerned clanmates usher them there. Tremors rack their body as they dwell on how Coleslash won't see another morning. Poor Ravensong and poor Coleslash. The stench coming from Pigeon Flick is finally fading. They've recovered from carrion place disease. Not a bad showing when we have no herbs for it. Hill Petal has finally warmed up and is no longer shivering. Poppy Eye got their paws stuck in a 2-leg trap, but luckily escaped with only a sprain. Coleslash succumbed to infection. Sagpaw's running nose has finally stopped running. Falling Whisker was seen arguing and borderline fighting with a loner. The clan has encountered Meatlug. Is it the same Meatlug? It is the same Meatlug. Okay. So just to double check in on here, we are still allies with everybody, so no issues there. For our next moon, I think we're just going to go back to assisting with herb gathering because we lost it all, so starting out next time in spring when hopefully there's more herbs to gather, we can just get more herbs. We stopped to take in the moment. What a moon it's been. What a time to be you. That is pretty general. We spent some time with Medusa Pelt today. The two of us enjoy the time away from camp. With our claws sharpened and fur glistening, we feel like we could conquer the world today. Until someone points out a straying tuft of fur. What an unusually blue butterfly. Strange. Maybe it's a sign? We ponder it for a bit. We look to the night sky one evening and wonder if the darkness is a dark forest influence. That's an interesting question. Like StarClan has the stars in the sky and the dark forest is all the darkness around it sort of thing. I mean, I guess that could be some theology there, huh? Alright, so to address the elephant in the room, Primshade is now going to be possibly on trial for having fathered kits. He's not admitting to it, and he's not necessarily hiding it either. He doesn't have any bonuses if that is going to be what happened. This is selfish, but I really don't want to lose him just because he's got 2 different colored eyes, if nothing else. But I have a sneaking suspicion that he is going to be father to this litter as well. So first up here we have Plumkit, who's an attention seeker newborn female with hazel eyes and a smoke black pelt. She is, in fact, Primshade's kit. She was born outside the clan but came to live in the clan with her parent at a young age. Up next we have Twig Kit, newborn female with emerald eyes and a single color brown pelt. She is an attention seeker. Then we have Fern Kit, a newborn male, green eyes, a single color black pelt, lonesome. Then lastly we have Pansy Kit, a newborn male with cyan eyes and a single color whitish pelt, who is troublesome. We have a very interesting name scheme here. I think I'm gonna change Fern to something else, probably also like herbal or like vegetation related somehow. That just seems to be the running theme. Alright, we'll go with Chive. We don't really have a lot of chives in our past, I don't think, so that's kind of unique. And then over here for Pansy, let's do Saffron Kit. I don't know if it's necessarily the best, but it's not the worst either. I guess Plume is kind of a bit more bird related, but I think that's fine. So let's check out how Yarosar views Primshade. I'm feeling it's not a little crush, but nothing like extreme. And then last thing here we'll do is now we'll go ahead and flip the coin. Heads, he's safe. Tails, he's not. Heads, he's safe. Okay. So Primshade gets away with it. I would be lying if I said I was not relieved. Alright, but speaking of Yarosar, he's currently playing a prank on Echo Kit, who is his niece, I want to say. Yeah, niece. Man, these families are huge. Needledew saw some kitty pets playing with colorful moss balls. Blueshade checking up on the warriors. Hillpetal is doing the same. Stormsky made a mess of the herbs and is panicking. We don't even have that many herbs to make a mess of. Sky Scratch is praying that Coal Slash is safe in Star Clan. You know what? That's actually something I should probably check. Just because they aren't going to go there automatically anymore. So Coal Slash is surprised to find themselves walking the stars of Silver Pelt. Oh, it's got new statuses now, so he's a Star Clan warrior. Streampaw is a Star Clan apprentice, Star Clan elder, Star Clan kitten, so it'll just kind of say, you know, who's what. And in the Dark Forest, on the other hand, it's kind of same but opposite, looks like. Unknown residents are just ghosts. Okay. Honestly, pretty interesting system. Like, nothing there is surprising, but still interesting. Frostwhisper is feeling content. Fawnshock, despite being sick with yellow cough, helps bury Coal Slash, leaving their favorite prey at the grave. Chirpback did the same. Shaded Antler tells a Fawn's story at Coal Slash's vigil. So she did like him in some capacity. Yeah, I thought they had a little bit of, like, a crush or something there, but now I guess we'll never get the chance to see that. Blossom. Honestly, Shaded Antler as a whole is kind of a little bit tragic with her love interest so far, because she was strongest with Fierce Face, and Fierce Face got exiled. Had a little crush on Coal Slash, and then Coal Slash passes. Moonfern is cherishing small moments, like the soft purring of contented kits. During Moonfern's lecture on clan history, Moral Kit is completely engrossed, asking insightful questions that Moonfern tries their best to answer. Intelligence 1. Chardumble is picking up lullabies and tales to soothe restless kits. Chardumble tells a story about the struggle of Leaf Bear, but Fish Kit seems disinterested and dismissive of the struggles depicted. Compassion -1. Willow Kit is hatching a plan to sneak out of camp and play. Willow Kit accidentally drops her moss ball while playing. Fox Sung, Chardumble, horrified, rushes to correct her as you laugh at your kid's potty mouth. I mean, I would be too. Echo Kid is asking older cats about how kittens are made. Frost Whisper, can I please come on patrol with you today? Please, please, please? I promise I won't tell anyone. No one will have to know. Just want to go explore like a real warrior does. You're actually gonna be an apprentice in a moon, which is kind of crazy to think. But it's true, so just wait. Swan Kid is mad no one will listen to her. Hey, look at this feather Moral Kit brought me. It's so pretty and it came from a real life bird out on the territory. I can't wait until I can get out and explore the territory myself. Then I can have all the feathers I want. Moral Kit bites another kit until they squeak. I would expect nothing less of a kit that comes from a cat named Fierceface. Moral Kit and Swan Kit are comparing size of paws. Mine are bigger, mine are totally bigger than yours, hee hee. Burn Kit is annoying older cats. Frost Whisper, Swan Kit just explained to me what dying means. She says what happens to our prey and to the plants and leaf bear. But that's never gonna happen to you, right? Or Liar Rush? We gently explain to Burn Kit that yes, we and Liar Rush will both die one day, but it'll hopefully be a long, long time until that happens and she'll be all grown up by then. But, never gonna be so grown up that I'm not gonna need you with me. I mean, yeah, that's the thing. Everyone's always going to need their parents, I feel like. Also, I just want to say we have had a veritable kid explosion. We went from an empty nursery to having 4 plus 5, 9 plus 4. What is that then? 13 kids. And what is that going to be? 5 of them are going to be apprentices next moon. So we are definitely kicking up on number of kits, and that's very possibly just because we turned on mass extinction events. I feel like there tends to be more births and deaths with that. But all the same, it's kind of crazy just how different that is. Let's do our LifeGen patrol. We find unfamiliar scent on our borders. It's our responsibility to investigate and ensure the clan's safety. We successfully track the scent to a lost loner. After guiding them away from our territory, we return to our duty satisfied with our vigilance. Okay, so Blue Shade sees a weird dark mist, and as they approach a strange cat, thinking they might be a wandering spirit in need of help, Blue Shade gets closer. The strange cat shrieks an awful, blood-curdling scream that makes their fur stand on end. Overcome by terror, they flee back to camp, dropping what little herbs they had gathered. Blue Shade got shock. I forgot that was the thing, and I was just clicking through for the patrol, so sorry I forgot to see what the prior one was. Hill Petal gathers cobwebs, and Storm Sky gathers wild garlic. Sky Scratch can't get Sagpaw to take the lesson about the porcupine seriously. Oh, I totally forgot that Tiny Stripe is now a warrior. Let's check Tiny Stripe out. So Tiny Stripe is a wise lore master. Tiny Stripe was mentored by Snowleaf. He influenced him to be more likely to be consistent, break rules that don't suit him, interact with others, and use teeth and claws over words. When he graduated, he was honored for his understanding, graduating at 11 moons old. So he's wise and a lore master now. That could well change come next moon when he, becomes an adult. But that's really not too bad, and honestly a little bit more sage than I would have expected from Snowleaf. That may be mean to say, but it's true. Alright, we are out on a hunting mission with Lyrush at our head. And as Lyrush leads the patrol through the snow-covered forest, the sound of a bird call gives them pause. Up ahead is an entire flock of songbirds pecking at a patch of exposed ground. I don't know why it sent us on a border mission when we look like this, but we're gonna proceed anyway. With a flick of their tail, Lyrush directs their clanmates into a silent ring of hunters surrounding the oblivious birds. When the time is right, the cats spring in unison, catching half the flock. Despite that impressive number, it only gives us a small amount of prey to bring home. Our wings probably were not helping that situation. Cliffcone spies a fat rabbit on the other side of Crooked Clan's border. It's hunting, but I don't think we're gonna proceed. We don't need prey enough to break the code and risk everybody being, found at fault there. As the patrol pads along the border, Miss Spot nearly topples over, falling into a footprint twice as wide and 3 times as long as she is. It's Bigfoot! The border patrol is immediately diverted to tracking this new unknown. With feet the size of a small dog, MoonClan needs to know what this thing is. Takes every bit of their talents at tracking through the woods, but the cats catch a glimpse of a giant furred two-leg, crossing a distant clearing and disappearing forever. Oh, I genuinely do adore the cryptid stuff. I'm glad that it's present for Halloween. Again, I would not mind LifeGen, ClanGen devs if this update just stayed in the game post Halloween too, and then you just had a much reduced chance of actually finding this stuff. Finding Bigfoot during spring, let's just say, is a 1 in a million chance, but you still have a chance to actually do it. I think that'd be fun. Okay, a hunting patrol finds a small burrow with a strange scent. We hesitate, unsure if it's worth checking. Squirt Runner always seems to end up on these missions, so we do have to proceed, but I'm nervous because this is half times a mouse that's not worth it and half times a Wolverine that will kill somebody. Alright, it turns out to be empty. Checking the burrow was a waste of time. Only a very small amount of prey was brought back to camp. See what I mean? Alright, and I think that's where we are going to leave it off for now. So we had a giant kitten explosion. And on similar notes, Frost kits, both birth and adopted, are going to be apprentices next moon. So there's a not small chance he's actually going to be a mentor to one of them again. If that's the case, I really hope it's not Willow, because that would be karma messed up-ish. I don't know. But all that being said, I'm excited to see what ends up happening. Thanks for your patience on this one. I know it's going to be a little bit longer just looking at the runtime. And thanks again for your patience in general with the challenge too. I want to adhere to the challenge even if it's not always fun or optimal, because in my opinion, if you only pick and choose what parts of the challenge to do, then it's not a challenge anymore. It's just something you're doing. And that's fine for plenty of other people. But for me, I do like to experience the full ups and downs of everything, because that's what ultimately makes it interesting, and that's what crafts a better story. So thanks again so much for watching to this point. Thank you especially to Parental Unit for supporting the channel, as that support is greatly appreciated. But until next time, everybody, stay safe, stay happy. I'll see you then, and bye!